That's honey.
What up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Tuna Status Podcast. I got my guy here.
DJ.
Yeah, so we're just here chopping it up. Appreciate you coming through. We're going to talk about everything about, how you got into the car scene, bills that you've had in the past, attending shows, just, the overall enthusiast lifestyle and everything like that. So how did you get into cars itself?
I don't know. I feel like for a while, it was just something that I wanted to do. And then kind of started to work on my own shit. And then started buying cars. By the age I was by the age of 21, I had already had 8 of my own. So it's I got into it more. And then I'm not that bad at it. I can do a few things on a car.
Okay.
And I decided to make it a real thing.
All right. So what was that first build that you had?
I had a 95 EG.
Okay.
Shitbox. Rusty as hell. Mad holes in it.
What'd you go with the EG? Was it just
$400.
What?
$400, so I bought it.
Can't go wrong with it.
I think I bought it in Westwood or some shit like that.
Did you know it was a beater, or did you have big plans for it?
Bro, I was 16. I didn't have my license yet. I was like, you know what? Cool.
Yeah.
I went with my mom. We got it. Yeah, now we're here.
Oh, shoot. So what was tell me about, walk me through it. What was the first few miles that he was like, yo,
I was a kid, so I didn't have no bread like that, so what did I do at first? I think I painted the wheels black.
You and everybody else, yo.
I painted the wheels black. And I didn't even have wheels yet. It was I think it was the hubcaps. They had little swirls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was that. I didn't even tint it. It was just, bro, it was a lot.
Okay. So then after that, you're rolling into it. What was the first car that you really was just all right, I'm gonna save my bread and I want to get this?
I don't know. I don't really work that it's not I pick a car and I gotta save up for it. I kind of just go for what I want. All so right. After I had an EK, and that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show you some shit. And then from there, I learned how to drive stick on that car.
Okay.
I destroyed the transmission and the clutch trying to learn how to drive stick. Crazy, bro. So I had to swap out the tranny. And then after that, that's when I started to really look into mods and shit.
Did you do the tranny job yourself, or?
No. I had thought about it at first.
Yeah.
But I'm at that point, I was how old was I when I got the EK? I think I was 17, so it was a year after.
Okay.
But I had an idea what I was doing, but it's I'm not just gonna drop a tranny at my house.
All right.
And then it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're rolling in, you got your car and stuff like that, and when did you feel okay, I'm gonna start going outside? Were you always affiliated with car people, or you just knew?
Yeah, I knew of people. I knew of you. Yeah. That's somebody that I as I was so I was trying to get into my shit. That's somebody that I was all right, cool. I think this is when you had the gray blob eye.
Yeah.
So I was you know what, that shit's alright. But I think car people are dickheads. So it's you don't really know how to approach people at first. So
what do you mean?
Car people are some dickheads. Most of my friends now, they're people that I seen before I knew them, and it's just that guy looks like a dickhead.
Oh my God, yo.
But the more and more you start to talk to people, it's all right, cool.
Yeah.
I was wrong in my head, but
okay.
He's still a dickhead though.
All right. Were you active in events, or were you just chilling with your friends at first?
Just chilling with friends, just doing whatever.
All right.
And then from there, I feel you start to meet a lot of more new people.
Yeah.
And then that's how the whole oh, this guy's fake. It's when you start to meet new people, of course things are gonna change. You're expanding who you know. So
yeah.
There's people that you're gonna flow with, and there's people you're not gonna flow with.
So now, you got your thing going, you got your rhythm, and you got your bills, and you're outside now. Now, what was first for you, coming into a car club or going into a car event?
Going to a car club was first, I think.
Yeah.
You kind of, even before it's a car club, you kind of have to see where you fit into the car community,
yeah.
who you gonna be around. Because once you establish okay, this is my group of people, it doesn't matter what's gonna happen next. If you're going somewhere, you're gonna be with that group of people, more or less. Everybody kind of has the people that they hit up when they're going to an event. No one goes to an event alone. Some some do, but most times you'll see all right, if this person's there, that person's gonna be there.
Yeah. Now, from your perspective, because you're younger and things like that, but what was more active during that time with these events for you, or even just being part of a car group? Was it IG or was it Facebook? Like, what was you really like? Okay, I'm trying to pop on IG, or I'm trying to pop on Facebook, or I'm just trying to do my own
See,
thing.
my opinion on the whole IG thing is like, it's kind of like, I feel like people who are too invested in it, like when it comes to like car shit, it's like, are you building your car for yourself? Or are you building to see like if you're gonna get the views or the likes and all that shit? Like, I feel like it gets very complicated. Me, I don't care if I have 1,000,000 views, 10 views, 5 views. Like, I'm building my shit for myself. But at the end of the day, when some shit go wrong, who are those people?
No,
At the end of the day,
true.
some like, I don't know, if I'm stuck on the side of the road, you can't call your followers like, yo, bro, can you pull
True.
up real quick?
True.
I feel like people get very confused, like if they're actually trying to build a car for themselves, or if they're building a car because they just want the clout that comes along with it.
Okay.
Because I've talked to mad people who have all these nice builds, and they're like, they don't know shit about the car, like whatsoever, like not a damn thing. Like, so you like cars, and you decided that you're gonna do this, that, and the third, spend all this money, but can you really help yourself if something goes wrong?
True.
That's an investment that you're putting in, and it's something that you put your money into that you don't get back. You gotta have some type of like, all right, how can I help myself with this?
All right. So let's put a timeline on everything. So you're outside, you got your build. What year did you have the EK?
EK, I'm terrible with that shit. I'm 18, so no, I'm 17 at the time. So what is that? But I don't know.
Like 2016?
Yeah, like 2016, 2017. I
Okay,
had the
okay.
EK, yeah.
Yeah, 2016 was a lit year. I've definitely said it before. Got some backlash for it, but it's all right. So we're talking about the EK, and what was next for you after the EK?
After the EK, I had a
Like the car that you really got hands on with, like, yo, I'm doing a
Nah,
lot of
actually, the car after that, I didn't even do much to it. I had a 2003 Acura TL Type S. I think I put like SI wheels on it or something like that, and I just kind of just drove that car around.
The Sunflowers?
Huh?
The Sunflowers?
They're like the double spoke. It's like the
Okay, I know which one's
the
the
Gen SI. So it's like a double spoke. They come in like gray,
Yeah,
but
I remember those.
got
I had
one
those on
white,
my
and the car was white.
Yeah. So now, moving forward, what was the build? When did you start getting into, like, 'cause you seems like you started with the Japanese, but then you transitioned to the Euro by the time I met you. When did you grab the BMW?
So here's what happened with the TL. I got traded a E46. It was a ZHP, right? It was nice. Like that's the kind of like the car I was like, all right, like I kind of want to start doing stuff to it. But E36s, E46s, the cooling, I think the cooling system is like the worst thing in the world. So
What
like
do you
here I
mean?
am spending, I did the cooling system like 4 times.
What the hell?
Look that shit up.
All right.
Look that shit up.
Okay.
Anybody you ask, they're gonna tell you the same exact, like the cooling system's ass. Like I think I went through like 3 radiators, the water pump, bro. It was just like, this was like an every like month thing, like something was going wrong. And like, I think on the last time I was like, you know what, fuck this car.
Yeah.
And then I sold it. But that's the car that I really like started to like, all right, I'm gonna buy wheels, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna do this. And I started like, I changed the front end on it. I did, cause it came, like it didn't have like the guy that had it before me, I don't know what he did with that car. Like it was rough at first. So I did the whole front end on it. I repainted it. I had Vossens at the time. That was like the wheel. Everybody, some reason. And then
Yeah. It was Ross
and they're not light
and it was WTIs.
and they're not light wheels.
No.
They've just got some weight to it. And it was a 6-speed, so it was like it was nice at the time, like at my age, because at that point, I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
So it was a nice car to have. I mean, it's not the best thing, but
But it was something better than most juniors. Most juniors got that Charlie card, so yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
So it was alright, yeah.
So you moved into that, and then how did you get the 3 Series?
So when I graduated high school was around the time I got rid of the E46. So then that's when I I went through a bank and stuff, and that's when I got the E90. It was a 335i. Some dude he moved here from like Atlanta, and then I got the car from him because he lived in Cambridge, and you know when you live in the city.
Local car.
And train and shit.
You don't use it.
Yeah.
So by then, I feel like you already started doing most of the mods on your own. You're chilling with your friends. At that time, like what events were you really hitting?
IFO was a show that an event I should say. That's not even a show to be honest. IFO. Then
What was it like going to IFO then versus now? Though?
IFO and H Day, since they're at the same place. Those are two events that I don't like,
Really?
especially H Day. Like no, like it's not about like the what cars are there. It's just more like, bro, it's like an all day outside event. The thing with H Day, it's extremely hot.
Yeah.
IFO,
They can't control that.
it always rains.
They can't control that.
I know that, but it's just like the setting that you're in, being outside through all that shit, that's just too much.
Yeah.
But that's just me though. I mean, like there's some people that like love that shit, but that's just me. It's like like what's expected every year at those shows. So we got IFO, H Day. Then I started to get into like going to like out of state shows. So Import Expo AC is a show that I've done like
Years.
4 years consistently. And just like small things here and there.
And what was that like versus then and now? You feel like the show's gotten better?
I feel like,
Or has
I
your
don't know.
perspective changed because you're getting older?
I feel like my perspective's changed because like at first, like I mean, when you're young, like it's all like cool shit. Blah,
Like, we
blah,
outside,
blah, blah,
like-
outside. But like I feel like with shows comes like a lot of things that you have to like plan for. Like it's just a lot like that goes into it. And the shows only keep on like I think like Import X when I was at like 140 to get inside. That's crazy, bro. I feel like now it's like they do it more so like so they can make the money off of it versus then when it's like actually about like to showcase cars and shit.
Yeah, and the people and everything like that. It's just when it was business, you didn't feel that business vibe to it. Now you can
Now
tell
you're starting to
when you
see,
submitted
like-
your car, you're like, yo,
Nice,
they're
nice
taxing.
seat. And like sometimes like the thing that it comes down to is like what cars that they accept. Like you'll see them like a super clean build, right?
Yeah.
That they don't know who the person, but like say if it's like a guy like Joe Schmo from somewhere, they won't take that car in. But like because this person has all this clout and their car is not up to par, they'll take that one in first. It's just weird to me. I don't know.
So you got the 3 Series, the E90. Things are rolling. Now you're getting more hands-on with your mods. What made you go, well, how do you feel about it? You know, people buying their stuff and having a random shop install it, or do you feel like people need to get more hands-on nowadays?
I mean, clearly, I wouldn't want people to get more hands-on because I wouldn't make money. But nah, it's not even about that. Like, just feel like like people aren't building their cars for the correct reasons. Like, I get it. Like, hey, if you can cloud off of what you're doing, smooth. But like, if you walk up to somebody and you're talking to them about their build, and they're very like, they can't really tell you what's on the car, I feel like that's a problem. Because like, you're spending thousands of dollars on this shit. Like, thousands. And then like, I've had like, even sometimes like have people tell me that I didn't put a part on like correctly. I'm like,
Yeah?
and it's like, okay, so why don't you tell me how it's supposed to go on?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it comes with like, it like comes with it. You're working on cars that aren't yours. You're gonna have to deal with people who aren't gonna like your job every single time. As long as you make it right, nothing to worry about.
So now evolving, you went from starting off with your own cars, working on your own cars, and now you have a shop. What's that been like for you?
You definitely see who's really with you.
Yeah?
Friends wise, you definitely get like alright, like everything's cool with friends until the money gets involved.
Yeah?
Everything's cool.
Yeah?
And then you start to see like people who won't rock with you the same because you charge them this to do this. But it's like, it took my brain power to figure this out for you. Like if you're gonna, let's say when you go buy a part, do you tell them, hey, can I give you $350 instead? No, you pay the full price of the part, regardless of how you get it paid, you're paying for that part.
Yeah.
Now, you want me to put it on, but you want me to do it for this price. When you paid that price for it, that they told you this is the price, but you want to like try to like come to me like, oh nah, can you take off like this much and that much, or it's not gonna take that long. Like you don't know how long it's gonna take.
But how'd you even get into, because the shop's a big responsibility, how'd you even get into the idea of like, you know what, I want to have a space for like my shit?
Pete, like I just feel like I've seen some work from like people, and it's like people charge people to do shit on their cars, and it's just like, wow, like you really pay this person for this. So it's like somebody else can eat off of it. Why can't I? And I know I'm gonna do the best that I can to make sure everything goes smooth. So why not? Like, don't get me wrong, it comes with a lot. Like the responsibility factor. yo, it comes with a lot. Like that's somebody else's car that's in your hands. So
It's a
anything
lot
goes
of
wrong,
liability, especially with the aftermarket parts when you're doing these air ride installs, wiring shorts,
The
things might
camber.
catch on fire,
The
camber,
camber.
toe arms might snap, because everybody wants to push as much, but they don't know.
but they don't know like
But the
X,
thing is, they
Y,
want to push as much with the cheapest part. Sometimes,
X,
bro.
Y, and Z comes
Yeah.
into that effect. Like because you're doing this, this can go wrong. Mm-hmm. And then if that goes wrong, this can go wrong.
Yeah.
And then if that goes wrong, like there's like people think that because you touch one part of a car, that's where it stops. Nah, you affect a lot of things, especially with these like newer cars with all these like these little things and these like. I had a car, for instance, right, that I bagged before I even like connected like the fuse to put that shit in. The car like did some weird shit where the BCM like turned off. And now because it's in my shop, like maybe like I can be like, all right, cool, it's not on me. But because it's in my shop, if you don't do what you can do to fix that car, that person's gonna make this that you fucked it up.
Yeah. Liability. And I definitely hear it. But then again, we all know those shops that would kind of just sweep it under the rug. Hey, car's done, come pick it up. Let's get out of here.
Nah.
And I've been at your shop, bro, and I've seen you fix some things. And I mean, but what's that like? Seeing some local shops, you know, you getting some of their work now. How are you dealing with that?
I mean, I'm not gonna talk down on work that I don't do. Like, some people have their ways of doing their own thing. I'm not gonna talk down like, oh, this person did this, because at the end of the day, it's your word against theirs.
True.
You can come to me saying that this person did this to your car. That was between you and them. Now, from what I can see, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong and how you can go about to get it right. But I can't sit there and like play judge like, oh, that he did do it or that he didn't, because you could have got the work done with them, drove your car down to somewhere else, they touched it a little bit, and then
It's
you brought it
true.
to me, and you're only blaming the first person.
Now, things are going good at the shop. I see you was active last summer. Got a lot of cars in there, a lot of big projects, things like that. Shout out to Balance Auto. Make sure y'all follow them and stuff like that. But now you're outside, and you have the 3 Series, which you ended up last year going crazy with.
Yeah.
Yo, why'd you go so aggressive with the build?
I don't know. I like with that car, I'm just at a like I was at a place where it was just like, you know what else can I possibly do here? Like,
Yeah.
And then last year was just like, although the car like it came out nice, I mean it was cool. Probably the worst setup that I feel like, in my opinion, like that I've done. It was definitely different.
Yeah,
I didn't drive it as much at all, like, cause I drive my cars as much as I can, cause like that's why I buy them and put all this stupid shit into them.
Yeah.
But last year I did not drive the 3 Series. I think I did GAT last year. Like out of state shows, I didn't do much. I did the Collective. I did Summer Send Off.
How was the Collective to you? What do you feel about from your point of view? How do you feel about Collective, and how do you feel about the Collective versus other events? And it's not like shit talking, but like, what do you feel like they have that other shows are lacking, or what do you feel like they're lacking that other shows have?
Because of our community, our car community, I'm gonna answer this vaguely.
What do you mean, bro? Yo,
I feel like,
keep it a buck, yo. Like,
as big as I can. The Collective, I feel like, is a great event. I like how they set it up. I like how they went about the whole thing. I feel like we need more stuff like that.
invite only or just smaller?
Like, it's not even just smaller. I feel like there's a lot of fat in our car community that needs to be cut around. I feel like this whole car thing here becomes like this game of like, it's just a sick game, like the way that people play it. Like, I feel like the Collective, the way that they did there, you know, like, if you know, you know. Like, if you were selected, cool, and if you weren't, cool. I feel like that's gonna help people grow more, like, to be like, all right, my shit's not where it needs to be. What can I do to make it where it needs to be?
Okay.
A lot of people get by, like, if you're doing this car shit for real, like, there's a lot of shit that people just get by off of. Like, all right, cool, you bought a brand new car, bags, wheels. That car's not built.
You sure you want to say that?
That car's not built.
You sure you want to say that?
It's not built. Like,
But what is a built car to you then?
I feel like,
Because that's where they get a lot mixed up, and then like based off like, you know, like my last pod and things like that. Us as the older guys that have been doing this like 20 years plus, we see a lot of the younger guys that are in your generation, I guess.
Yeah.
From your perspective, like really, like what is a build though?
I feel like if you're not like actually going like the extra mile, like there's a bunch of people who go the extra mile, like they're touching every part of their car. They're making sure that everything is like, that they're buying the best parts that they can. They're doing this and they're doing that. I feel like until you like, there's so many things that can be done to a car besides bags and wheels.
Yeah.
Like you got people who will rip off everything on their car just for paint. Like that's what's up. Like you're actually like you're getting into this. Like you didn't just get, I don't know, a brand new car. You got the bags, you got the wheels, and that's it.
True.
Like if you're gonna build a car, if you're gonna go the whole way through, like look up all this stuff that you want to do first, and then pick somewhere to go from first. It gets very hard. Like, all right, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. Like you're touching all these different parts of the car at the same time. That's how shit goes to shit.
Yeah.
Get one thing off the book first. All right, what's next? And then move on from there.
Now, the other thing that I'm trying to bridge the gap on is events. For you, how are you viewing, and it's not even just mass events, but just events in general. Like, how are you viewing it from the quality to the events to the entertainment with the events? Like, do you feel like events have gotten better or worse over time?
So with going out of state more,
And I mean, as far as the event production, how it looks, like, hey, I went to a show, but it's just a random parking lot and they're calling it a show. Or even down to the people where they're pulling up and they're like, yo, I thought this was a car show. Why are half these cars? Like, I paid for VIP parking, not to knock anybody, but why are half these cars there? I mean, how do you feel about it?
here's the thing, like going out of state more and then like doing shows in state, I feel like in state we have to do a lot more work on like what a show is. Mind you, like I'm not saying that we don't have much, but like out of state shows and then shows here, like they're two different things. Like we have a lot to learn from like out of state.
Okay.
Versus here. The whole VIP.
Spectators or promoters or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Like the complaining on the people who are going to the show, like people complain a lot. Like I don't know what you expect. Like you can complain all you want, but like there are it takes a lot to like plan a show. I've seen that because you can see from like all the shows that you go to, like it's not a walk in the park. There's like, depending on where the show's gonna be at, there's a whole lot of shit that goes into that. Depending on how they're gonna get everybody into wherever the show is, there's a lot of things that go into that. The whole thing with the VIP shit that you were saying, I just feel like if you're gonna be paying someone, if you're gonna charge me,
Yeah.
like say if to get your car in like 60, but then VIP is like 120. If I'm paying that 120, make me actually feel like I'm like in VIP. Don't just park me
and then leave you. You want to get wine and dine, bro?
Don't park me across
man.
across of the room from one thing that I've seen is like you'll charge me all this bread, but I'm just parked like a few steps away from the regular from the regular cars, or whatever they paid. Just like I'm parked right there. Like what's the point of me paying all this money? And then on the show side, it's like if you have the nerve to charge me that much, like you know what I mean? Like actually make it so it's like a VIP section. To be honest, like with all the shows that I've been through, I don't care if I park in VIP or not. Like it's not a big deal to me anymore. Like at first, like oh shit, it's cool VIP that's out there, but it's not a big deal. There's like no difference.
So now you're in a group, Stanton,
yeah.
What's it like traveling to these events and being a part of a group and a culture versus rolling by yourself?
I feel like being in a group can be a good and a bad thing.
What do you mean?
Because I've been in a few groups and like it's just like the energy in the group. Like some groups ain't it, some groups are it. I feel like with the whole group stuff, you just gotta kind of like set the like a line on where how invested you are into it. Being a part of Stance has been great. Like it's what's up. Like it's just a cool group of guys and girls. No one there's not really like beef or anything like that, and there's not like rules. Like I know like there's some car groups like there's mad rules and that third. They just like kind of let you do what you gotta do.
What do you mean by rules?
Like Stance, we don't have like the meetings or whatever, things like that. Like they don't care what you do aside from being in Stance Innovators.
Okay.
Like there's not like, oh, that you only have to be here. Like you can do whatever you want. If you can pull up to a show with the group, cool. If you can't,
Now, do you feel that's a good thing, or has this given taste? Because I know some groups, you know, by having that structure, either because somebody messed up, so now they have to get a little bit more strict, or I've also seen some groups where things are really lax and really loose, and when they pull up to events, it's like disorganized as hell.
I mean, but then that kind of depends on like what is the group going for when they pull up to these like these shows and stuff. Like if you're trying to go for like best group, best this, best that, then I get it. Like have your strict rules, but like with Stance, it's like we're just trying to have fun. We're just trying to chill. We're just trying to be outside. Like you won't see us all wearing the same exact clothes. You won't see us doing like all that weird shit. Like
You don't like the matching outfits?
it's cringe, bro.
What do you mean, bro?
It's super cringe. Like, yeah, we might all have the same shirt on and stuff, but like I don't know, like down to a T, like the same exact outfit. Nah.
But that's what some of these. But that's the thing. Like people need to keep it black and white. Is it? Are you a car group or are you a car club?
That's the thing too.
Are you building a show car or is it a street car or is it a car you just built for itself? Like I feel like there's no, and I hate putting a label on everything, but I feel like personally with yourself, like a lot of these cars are getting into a category that they don't belong in, and they just need to admit to themselves, excuse me, that they're just not that. Like it's cool you have a street build. It's a nice car that you pull up to meets, and it's like, wow, this is clean. But to be at a show, but then again, if these guys are taking anybody in their shows, who's telling them that they don't have a show car? Which is why I guess why some people like the Beast Coast events, because it's so selective with the emissions. It's, hey, your car is nice, but you're just not of that tier yet. I mean, as far as being in a group with Stance, how many cars do you guys feel that are actual show cars or actual street cars?
I see where you're coming from. Okay.
Like, do you feel like you guys are a car club or just a car group?
I feel like the thing with Stance, like, it's becoming more of like kind of like a brand.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of people who are in Stance that have multiple like stickers on their cars. They rep multiple different teams, if you want to call them teams. But I feel like because our car community here in Mass is so like, oh, if you're in this, you're in that. Like, you stay in that one place. When you go to these states, you see cars with like 15 different team names. Like you'll see like the one person has like all these different types of. But here it's such a out of like, that's not normal. Like, why do you have this group and that group and this group and that group? Like, I feel like you should be able to rep whoever you want. Now, the thing with the show cars, I feel like any car can be a show car, right? Because what do you need to do? Make sure your car's clean.
Yeah.
Make sure your car's clean. If you get accepted, you get accepted. Some cars don't get accepted. Now, where like with like cars being in shows, I think where the line starts to like get like thin, it's like, okay, 2 cars. Same exact stuff done, right? But how is it done? What parts were used? How does it look? Because you could have, I don't know, say if you build, I don't know, an Accord.
Yeah.
Right? You have the whole 9 yards of whatever it is, right? And then you place it next to, I don't know, like random car, like a IS250 or something, right?
Yeah.
Or like a ISF, right? Where all these performance parts done to it, right? Technically, they're both 2 show cars.
Yeah.
Right? But it's all gonna come down to like, all right, this person has all this done, and this person has all this done, right? Okay, now from there, how clean is it done? What exactly is this? Am I looking at? And I feel like that's where like the judging thing kind of gets a little bit like, it's weird because it's like.
Well, speak on it. Speak on the judging. I mean, let's use for example. I mean, we have, as far as Mass goes, for us out here, we have Broke, which is really a Connecticut show. We have Next Gen, which is, I believe, Rhode Island.
I've never been, yeah.
Then we have Import Evolution, and then Summer Send Off. And then we have IFO up north. Now, I see some of these events where people take it real personal when they don't win. And I feel like there's a disconnect between understanding with the older generation building their cars and the newer generation. And I don't see like too much of, oh, a guy getting mad because he lost to a girl or a girl getting mad because she lost to a guy. Sometimes that happens, but I don't see that too much. But it's always more of a age thing. You have the old skill builds that rack up points, and then you have the newer school builds that don't really hit as hard. And do you feel like that's because the judges there don't understand, or?
Times have simplified themselves a lot. Like, simplified themselves. Like, this is the thing, like, you gotta keep up with the times in anything that you do. Like, like even the way that your house looks has changed. Clearly, like, some of the stuff like back in, I don't know, like when people used to do like the bigger wheels and the wide body kits and stuff, like that's not what it is anymore. Yes, you'll still find builds of people like going to the extent. There's a girl on Instagram. She's like engraved like everything, like her motor, this, that, and that. Like that's nice as fuck. But like most people aren't doing all that. I feel like with the judge, like it all depends on what show you're at and who is gonna judge your car.
Okay, so what show that you went to that you liked the judging?
A show that I've been to that, to be honest, I haven't been to a show where like I really care enough, but like.
All right, let's make it easier. Let's make it easier. What's a show that you feel like you was robbed and it was clear cut?
I'm not answering that question.
What do you mean?
Nah, I'm not answering.
All right, you don't have to say the show. All right, give the example of how do you feel like you were robbed. Then we don't have to say the show. We can keep it PC. 2024, we're gonna keep it right. We're not gonna throw anybody underneath the bus. Let's speak on it. Build for build.
Oh my God.
The car that you brought versus the car that you lost to. How do you feel like they beat you in a way that they didn't deserve?
All right. Clearly my car, the E90, that's the most recent car that I've had that's been to a show, right?
Yeah.
My car is not, or like, it's not like just a, like you can just go buy one and just do exactly what I did. So let's see it like this, right? I'm doing all this extra shit, right? Like I've cut the car up, I'm doing this, I have to mold parts on, I have to take parts from a car, I don't know, some car that I seen online to try to make it fit onto mine, right? It's not that I expect to win, but it's like, you have to take things for what they are. I can't be like, I can't lose to a car that this person like did like the minimum and that's it.
Describe the minimum. Bags, wheels,
interior, headlights. Like that doesn't even compare to what I've done. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. We got to compare because they don't know your car. I'm gonna post your car, but
so it's like I'm doing all this stuff. Like I've made my own lights before. I did my tail lights, my headlights. The wide body kit that I used was a bolt-on kit. I molded the whole thing, like did the whole 9 yards on that. My car was stage 2+, so I'm going on my way. Like it's not that I just clean my bay and then I have like you can like see what's there.
Yeah.
Doing all this stuff, you know, like doing everything and seeing it through all the way through. There's no way in hell that I can lose to a car that they bought all their stuff. They have a nice little trunk set up, cool, and that's the end of it. Like you have to, like if you're a judge, you have to see it all through. Like, what am I looking at? Okay. Is this stock? Is this not stock? Like, what car did this come from? Did this car have this? No, you have to see it all through because yes, that other car might look nicer or a cleaner cut, but they didn't even like attempt to go as far as somebody else did. And I see that with a lot of builds. There will be like some super clean builds, but because of whatever it is, they're not going to win against another car that they just simply bought all their shit and just put it on the car.
So how do you feel about a car? Because I've seen this before at shows. And it's tough because say you have your build, prior build, the E90, but then you'll have an E92. That E92 is pristine, OEM plus, it's an individual color. Yes, it's not wide body. Yes, it doesn't have the widest wheels, but it's on a really rare set of wheels. The motor work is all Dynon, but carbon fiber, all that stuff like that. How do you feel like when it comes to matching stuff like that, how do you judge against something like OEM plus or versus heavily modified?
Okay, I see. So the point sheet. Let's refer
Okay.
to the point sheet, right?
Do you think the point sheet's bullshit?
Huh? I don't think
Or it
it's
needs to be
bullshit.
updated?
I just feel like it needs to be, not that it needs to be updated, I just feel like,
What do you feel should be on the point sheet?
I've seen a few point sheets. Like I've seen what they look like. I feel like it becomes more so of like they're just checking if you have it or not how you did it, not how it's done, how clean it looks, or what it is. I feel like it's just there. You feel me? Like, okay, was the engine bay clean? 3, 4, 5. Like, okay, what's in the engine bay?
Okay.
So back to your question with the E92 in my car, right? Super pristine. Now I think that all depends on what kind of show are we at? Like, what are they looking for? Because at the end of the day, you ask a regular guy like that doesn't really know about cars. What's the difference here? They're gonna tell you one's completely stock
Yeah.
with wheels on it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So if we're at a car show or whatever you want to call, like whatever event, like what are we looking for here? Are you looking for something that's super pristine, that's like supposed to be at like a showroom somewhere
Yeah.
for like somebody to buy, or are we looking for what's actually done to this car? So if we're at a car show and somebody with a super pristine this, that, and third walks in, and then there's me, we're at a car show here.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like I would expect to win or at least place. Don't tell me because this car's super pristine, they won and I didn't even place.
True.
That makes no sense.
True.
At all, because that's the whole point of why we're here.
Yeah. You know, it's hard because I've seen those situations. Like, for example, like a buddy of mine, George, he has a Monte Carlo that's well known, and that car is immaculate. But then you'll have another buddy like mine, Corey, with the GTR with the Dragon. Yeah, you'll see that pull up, and it's like, damn, like this car might seem simple, but the car is 40 years old. It's seen more winters and summers than the other car, so it needs to be respected for maintaining that level for cleanliness and the customized mods for that many years. Whereas another car, you might see, oh, it's brand new. The parts aren't that hard to modify. Plus, you have a ton of support for it. So it's give and take. But like you said, and I think that needs to be acknowledged, is that, you know, it depends on the show that you're going to. Because a lot of these people get upset and it's just you were at the wrong show for your build. Like, you can't be going to an old school lowrider show with a bag Tev Gen Accord and be mad that you didn't place first place.
Very true.
You know,
I
some
know
people
you've
just...
seen the BMW event that we did a few months ago when I drove in. I
I know.
seen that shit. So.
I know. different crowd with the Prius. But the weird thing about it is even when you attend those events, there's always those few people that always actually like, yeah, that might be like their crowd, but they have appreciation for a quality build, that they know that they see somebody, just because there's certain cars you can look at and be like, I know a person put wrench time in that. Or I know a person just slapped on whatever and just called it a day.
I remove this and I put that on.
Or you see, yeah, this dude doesn't know a damn thing about his car. He just dropped it off at the shop. Which to each their own, but there's all different levels of enthusiasts. So we touched on having the shop, you growing into the car scene and some of your builds and things like that and attending some of these shows. You know, the biggest thing is, I mean, the car community with the younger group and the older group. First of all, let's address some of the groups. What's some of the groups that you actually like really like mess with that's in Mass? That you actually like, you see like what they're doing?
Like specific groups?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because keep in mind, some of these people watching, they don't know about some of these groups.
Yeah. Imperial Stance, I would say like their Mass chapter, they definitely have some nice builds. From there,
because we had a lot at one point. There was like Envious, there was Team Dragon, there was Stanton, there was Cartel, there was Boston Lowriders, there's Trench Boy Mafia.
I'll go like with the newer teams, like the teams like from like kids my age. Trench Boy.
Yep.
They have some really nice builds there too. From there,
because we don't have too many old school groups. It's just that's been around for a while because from my era there was Team ECR, there was BLR obviously, Envious. There was even Team Dragon with, and I feel like there's another group.
It's weird, bro. I don't know. I can't remember all the names now. I don't know.
So what groups don't you like?
That's crazy. You do think I really answer that question? That's super crazy. That's super crazy. See, like, and like the thing is, like, it's not like I play with your favorite. And it's not like I don't like the team. It's just like the way that some teams go about things is just like, that's interesting.
Have you ever just wanted to say, I'm just wanting to ride Dolo? This is too much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've left the team and I'm like, I'm gonna ride calm, Mm-hmm. And then I ended up joining like another team. So yeah, there's definitely been times. I mean, like if you just want to do it for yourself, which you should be doing it for yourself to begin with.
Yeah.
No matter what sticker you have on your car. Some people don't have a sticker at all. They just them. Like this shit like that. But the drama sometimes is just like, why am I doing
too much?
This? Like, fam, like this shit's not paying me. I'm paying it. Like I gotta pay to put this shit on. Like you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm taking the time out of my day doing all this shit to my car. Well, whether it's you only clean your car to go somewhere, like like this is your time that you're taking. So why are you gonna fight with people who, one, don't pay your bills, two, you didn't know before this shit, and then you'll probably still be alive if you don't know them. Like why am I fight? Like why? What's the point?
So now on the more positive side of things, have you felt like now being a part of Stanson, it's evolved from more than just being car friends? Has it reached a point for you where you met a group where it's become more like family, or where you met friends that have become family?
Yeah, I definitely have. Like, I could
shout them out, nigga. Shout them
out. Saba's here with me. Wanda 10th, like that's somebody that I've met. I met him last year. Like we clicked. Shit's going great. Like I mean, there's a lot of people like about Mark. Mm-hmm. Mark is cool as shit.
Mark.
Like you really do meet people that like, you know what I mean? Like this person's gonna be here like.
For the long run.
Yeah, for the long run. Like, I got people around me that, like, you might not have much, but you got, like, a few people, like, like, those are your friends. Like, that's going to be your team. Whether you're in a car group or not, those people are always going to be there.
And that's the dope thing about it, because we all reached a point where it was just, like, having just the backyard hangs where you say you're going to work on a car, and it could have been a part that could have been installed within, like, 10, 15 minutes. But then when you're chilling with your boys, it's like 5 hours
3
later.
Hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, bro. And if you got a lady, then you're like, you're trying to, I'll be there in an hour. But nah, it's not really an hour. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope, because when you have those moments that, you meet these friends that become family, and, it's from, hey, help me install this part, or hey, let's chill, or let's ride out. Let's go for a cruise. Let's, just vibe. And that's the biggest thing. And it's great seeing you guys come into that, especially for the younger group, because as my, I guess, chapter was coming to an end, what we had was H2O. And now I see you guys having your own thing, which is GAT. Now, what's GAT like for you?
All right, so my first time with GAT was at, 3 years ago? And like within that time span, that shit has changed completely. Like,
What do you mean?
it's super fun. Like, but this last time that I just went, I don't know if they're gonna do it again.
Already?
Yo.
Already? At least with H2O, we had a nice little run, bro. But GAT's
like,
already.
Y'all had some years. Nah. People just don't know how to act. I don't think GAT's gonna happen again. And if it does, I'll definitely go. But
Cause I seen some of the stuff. But what I heard from over the phone,
bro,
wild.
The first year I went, there wasn't that many cops, like super calm, whatever. Like people did their shit. I mean, clearly gonna have like the one or two like burnouts, whatever, cool. But it's a fun time. Like we go for like this time I went for a week. The last time I went for like 4 days. Like it's a fun time. But like when it takes that one part, like that one group of people, just goes to shit. Like bro, people were forcing it. Like, and it came to a point where like they like upped the cops like 10 times. Like.
Jesus. So it is like H2O.
It got crazy fast. Like this year was, bro. Yo, I don't know. Hopefully it's a thing this year. I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
The burnouts and people just like speeding, and like the thing is like we're not home.
True.
we're we are all not home. We are in a different state, you know, like
With a long ride back.
with a long ride back. Shit can go wrong. Like what do you like? Let's be for real. Like,
Yeah.
and not many places can do this anymore. But they're allowing us to be in their space. I'm not saying like don't have fun, but got this year it was a great time. Like, you know, you see your friends, you see people that you talk to online. They're all there.
Yeah.
It's a fun time, but like you gotta know how to act. And like it was bad, bro. Like it was taking us like 25 minutes to drive a mile down the strip.
That's wild.
Cops everywhere. Like,
That's
that
wild.
shit was a mess. Like,
That's wild. Sounds like H2O. Sounds like H2O. Hopefully they get a break in things and people really tone it down, because that is the majority of us, I can't say, in the car community, where we just want to come down for a vibe and we're really shunning. We're getting back to that phase where we're shunning all the extra stuff because it's ruining great vibes for us.
and
because with this takeover shit, it's really just, yo, chill out, bro.
people be wilding,
Yeah.
bro, what are you wilding for? Like, we get it, your car's fast. You don't gotta do a million little things.
Yeah,
Bro, it's just
yeah.
too much, bro.
Yeah.
It's just too
And
much.
once again, you're doing all that like you ain't got a long ride back, bro. You blow out your diff and all that shit is wild.
It's just like there's so many
Put some
factors
lights.
into it. So many factors into it. Like, everybody's just trying to be that guy. Like everybody just wants the clout that comes with it. Like, we get that, but like, it's cool to just be okay. Just
Yeah.
build your car, have fun. You see your friends, you see people that you talk to online, have a great time, eat some food, play some games, do some rides.
But that's the thing though, with the older guys, we look at y'all and put y'all all in the box thing that all y'all are chasing this imaginary clout thing, which is wild.
The internet's not real. It's not real life.
I know, but for some of the older guys, they see that and they take it for what it is, bro. That's why they get scam calls and all that shit.
It's not real life. Like, I feel like a lot of people get sucked into like, oh, I gotta do this and that to my car because it's gonna get me likes this, that, and the third. Like,
Yeah.
it's not real life. Like, Instagram is not real life. Like, you have a life outside of like whatever they see online. Like, just live your life for yourself. Build your car for yourself. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, you know, if you have a cool build, you got the likes up, cool, this, that, and third, smooth, do your thing. But like, that's just not paying you. Some people, it does pay. Don't get me wrong. That's your career path.
Yeah.
Do you have fun? But like, if your page not doing that well, and you're doing all this extra shit, like, what's it for?
Yeah.
Instagram is not real life. Whatever platform you use to promote your car and all this shit, it's not real life. Stop living on there like it's real life.
Yeah, because we all know some cars that's on there, and then we see them in person, and
It's like
it's different.
yeah. And that's where the whole clout thing comes into. Like, and sometimes you see it at shows, like because that person knows this person, they're gonna win over a car that somebody doesn't know who they are, but super clean. It's all part of it. Like, it's all together.
Yeah, because if you think, was it Gat with that RX-8 went on the trailer? That was like the biggest highlight that I see from Gat, and I'm like, bro, did anything else happen down there?
Yo, so
And then
yeah,
I
so that
started
was-
seeing like random cars trickling.
So
I'm
that
like, yo,
was
this
20
car is cleaner than anything out there. Why is this not blowing up on
So
the
that
gram?
was
But
in-
this nigga sending a freaking RX-8 on the trailer is viral.
So that was in 22, like, so that was GAT 22. Yeah, like, that shit was crazy. Homeboy, like,
Because he sent that shit on that
that shit
trailer.
off. It's like shit like that, like, bro, I seen that car inside the show because I don't put my car in the show. I just go for the vibes. So he was like, his car was parked in like kind of like a loading dock, like when you're going in, like when like they bring the cars into show, and it was just parked there. It's just like, see shit like that, like, you're doing too much. Like, I get it. Like, all these builds, like, yes, like, it's super cool that you're like technically destroying a car. Like, I get the cool fact for like the cool thing in that, but it's like, no, bro, like, that shouldn't be in here.
Oh, man. So, you know, we've talked about GAT, and as we come to a close, I usually like to ask my guests 2 questions. First question, in your perspective, what was the best year to you for the car scene?
I don't have one, to be honest.
don't have one yet?
Nah, like, nah. I
Even
don't
with
think-
GAT and everything and
Nah,
joining stance and
I don't really have a bet. I mean, I think so.
like one year that you really had like a solid like, yo, this
I would
is
say
dope.
2 years ago, which is version 1 of my wide body. So before this year, so 22. Yeah,
That's with the rotiforms?
that's the roadie forms.
Okay.
Yeah, with before the tilt, before all that shit. Cause like I literally, so I started the build. February, and I had it up by August, and like that's really the year where like I had to take my time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going from a car that was like stock on the outside, technically, besides like the lips and all that stuff, like all the shit that I've done. Like I cut up my car, like did all the shit. Steven Sanchez, bless that man, bless that guy, bro. I love you, bro. Cause it was like this is before the shop, like before I actually moved into like shop space. So it's like I had my car over in Methuen at my uncle's house. He had like a ginormous like 2-bay garage there. Like Steven went through it. Like he really, from cutting the car up to doing the mold on the kit to things not going right, bro. He really stuck by. Like
And finish it.
fam, that shit was a mess. Cause
Oh my
at
God.
first he hit
So
me
it
with
wasn't a bolt-on kit.
it was a
supposed to-
bolt-on kit.
Classified.
But then we're looking at it, like we put it up to the car, because at that point, I had already ran like the setup. So at that point, my roadie forms were 18 by 12 and a half before the wide body, right? So when we put the kit up to the car, I only gained an inch with the wide body kit from stock body. So now we're deciding, is this even worth it?
Yeah.
Because like, I only gained an inch, which until I could probably put a big ass wheel in there and be fine. He asked me like before we even like cut the first piece off the car. He asked me like 6 times, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, because we know once you cut the car, it's never the same, bro. Never the same.
Kept on asking that question over and over again. I'm like, "Bro, we're already here. I already bought the kit. Let's get this shit going." And we cut the car up. Like, wow, like that was it. After the first QP was cut off, it was wow. And then from there, that's when the whole bolt-on thing became a thing, because it's like, all right, it's gonna look like this if we bolt it on. Like, I hate seeing all of the screws in the body panel. That's when we decided to mold it, and I don't have much experience with that, but he knows what he's doing. So I was like, all right, like that was a hard pill to like, all right, and like I literally watched like this car that I had that was technically perfectly fine, and I just destroyed it.
Like all of us. What are you talking about, bro? That's nothing new, bro. Like that's what we all do.
There's ranks of how
We
much
take a perfectly good car that was either supposed to be the daily, which is why you got rid of the last build, and then we end up making it way worse than the car that we had before.
Yeah, bro. When you cut off a quarter panel off of a car, like a car that the quarter panel was fine on, there's ranks to like destroying a car.
Yeah.
That car got destroyed. Like, it looked good, but like fans, like I really just cut the shit, and that's it. Like, for me to go back to this, it's gonna take a lot more than what I'm doing right now to go back to it. So 22, because of all the work that I put in, when I finally got the chance to really get into it, like to really like enjoy the car for what it was, and I drove that shit all the way up into January before I got hit. So that shit all the way to January, like I dailied that shit, wide body, like it, like 22 was the year. Like I had the most fun I think I've ever that I've had in 22.
Yeah, he was outside, bro. He was outside.
I had the most fun.
Now, this last question before we wrap up, and like I say, disclaimer, don't like being morbid, but it's a real question, you know, and I feel like people don't get a chance to express this notion. If there's anything that you feel like you want to be known for between your friends or in the car community / scene, like, what's something that you want to say, like, yo, like, I stand on this, like, this is what, like, I believe in?
For real, bro. Like, I just, like, with the whole shop shit, because that's, like really where I kind of care about what people think about me. Because besides that, like, people always have some shit to say. So with the whole shop shit, like, to be known in, like, our car community here in Mass, I think it's just, like, I just don't want anyone to ever have, like, can, like, say, like, oh, that he messed up my car. That's it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be known as that guy. Like, I just want to be cool. I did the work. It came out dope. Fine. That's why I go through mad shit to make sure, like, whatever work I did, and if it affected something, that it's squared away. That's all that I care about. I don't care how people view me, what they say about me, how they feel. All I care about is the work that I put my name on.
That's solid.
That's all.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming through, my guy.
Thank you.
That wraps another one. To the next time. You guys know the vibes. I'm going to drop all the information in the description box below. Make sure you follow, support my guy. Go follow his shop. If you're local in Mass, even if you're out of state, pull up. I seen it and I could attest to it. Quality work, stand-up guy. Until the next time, Stay up, stay blessed. Peace.